There's so much ignorance in use, and it's hard to discern whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You always kind of wonder how people acquire more wisdom as they get older, or people kind of find themselves when they get older, or they become masters of things when they get older. Is it because we've experienced more things? Because so many people, once they get into their 40s, they kind of find their stride, or they find their mastery of something. Is that because you look at things differently as you get older? Because for some reason things change chemically in your body, in your mind? Or do things change in your mind because of your experiences? Is it your perspective on life, or is it something as simple as nature, genetics, how your body evolves as you get older? The way you process things are different than when you were younger. Is that based on your experiences up to that point? Or is it things chemically start to change in your body that helps you see things in a different light? Is ignorance better? It's definitely, when you're ignorant of things, it's a lot easier to just put your head down and go through life with less stress. Ignorance does produce less stress. Keeps you kind of in the middle, but it prevents you from achieving things above and beyond average. I guess it's kind of compared to preferring to being numb for your whole life. You never want to feel bad things so desperately. You never want to feel bad things that you will sacrifice feeling really good things, and you just stay numb forever. Is that kind of like ignorance? You get into these ruts of a job or a lifestyle, and you just stay in it because it's all you've ever known. And at one point you realize you're 50, 60, 70 years old, and middle of the road is all you've ever been. You have a job, you get married, you have kids, and then you die. I guess for a lot of people that's satisfying. But for some people, as you get older, you look at the world differently. You things that previously would annoy you no longer annoy you, or things that would inspire you previously no longer inspire you. Things that you were okay with previously, you are no longer okay with. It's almost as if when you get to this halfway point in your life, you were presented with the opportunity to look behind the curtain and see the wizard, see what's actually going on. You get to get a glimpse of how things actually work, and then you're either cursed or blessed with that knowledge. I feel like people either take knowledge as a blessing or a curse, because if it's a curse, then that means knowing how things actually work means you're putting stress on yourself to either change or stick with it. It's a blessing because if you actually see how things work, then that means that you have the power and the control to mold life and mold things to the future you want to see. It's just weird how you get older and you just see things differently. Things you were okay with up until that point, you're no longer okay with. And you either stay and deal with the things you're not okay with, or you take the risk and say, I'm going to gamble my comfort, but with that comfort comes the lack of satisfaction or the yearning for more. But yearning for more comes with risk. Abandoning everything you've ever known up until this point. It's as if you're looking out the 40th floor of a skyscraper, and it's safe when you're in your room. But out on that ledge, past the window, past the safety, out on that ledge, where you now have a 50-50 shot of staying on the ledge or losing your balance and falling off the ledge. But that 50-50 shot of being on that ledge, that's where the amazing things happen, the change happens, the realizations happen, the growth happens. Being more than the person you were before, being more than a man, being more than just another drone, being more than just another pawn. It's weird when you get to, maybe that's why they call it a midlife crisis. Usually when you think of like a midlife crisis, you think of, men who start dating, divorce their wife and start dating women in their 20s and getting sports cars. And maybe that's not a midlife. Maybe the midlife crisis is because you start to see the world in a different light, and you're forced with this decision to, do I proceed knowing that I'm not okay with the way things are anymore, even though I was okay with it at the time? Now I'm not. And the crisis is, I've spent half my life doing something a certain way, and I'm no longer okay with that. But there's a cost to dislodging yourself from that pattern, and it's risk, it's fear, there's possibility of failure, but the rewards are, you can control your life, you can control your destiny. There is no fate but what we make. I know I'm going to quote a movie. I always find a way to work that in, but it's true. There is no fate but what we make. You control how your life's going to turn out. And you have to decide, are you someone who is going to welcome the opportunity to slide over into that driver's seat? Or are you just going to stay in the back seat and let that Uber driver of life control where you go? So what is wisdom? Is it nature or is it nurture? Is it something in your body, chemically, neurologically, that's changing? Or is it your past experiences that are now forming your perception on the way life is right now? And what do? Because you realize there's potentially less years ahead than there are behind. And do I take the risk of starting over and falling down? And have the rest of your life be the best of your life? Eric Thomas. It's a mind fuck, that's for sure. What do you do?